In your headlines, residents are calling on government to do more as it relates to healthcare in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and lobster season is coming to the TCI very shortly. Hello Turks and Caicos, welcome to PTV News Watch. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday, July 27th, 2022. I'm Khalees Williams with today's newscast. The real news starts now. Residents are calling on government to do more as it relates to healthcare in the Turks and Caicos Islands. A group protest took place outside the hospital's mortuary on Monday as persons voiced their concerns on the country's healthcare system. Take a look.
Residents have complained about the country's alleged poor healthcare system for decades now, and a group joined in protest, hoping to bring about positive changes. Residents say it's about time TCI's hospitals take healthcare more seriously and provide the high standard of healthcare that residents so desperately deserve.
I'm tired of going to Nassau, to the hospital, and when I reach in there, it's about 11 or 12 patients from the Turks and Caicos Islands. Some of them are fighting for their lives. Now they're going to the Dominican Republic, where we can't speak the language. They're leaving us in a country where the language barrier is very hard for us to understand. I wouldn't have been in the hospital for 2 days if I had understood what they were trying to say to me. I bought out something to show the media this morning as well. I have 92 prescriptions, and everything is different on the prescription. What is actually wrong? The hospital misdiagnosed me.
One protester, resident Chrissy Pratt, stood strong in her stance, holding a wreath, which she says symbolizes the lives of the many persons who allegedly died due to negligence.
Are we all holding our wreaths today because we're tired of burying our people? We have doctors in the hospital, and some of them, they're imploring me for taking the stand. They're imploring me for taking the stand because you know what happened? They feel bad when they have to go and tell it's another one bite the dust.
Here is another who says that he has experienced firsthand a degree of negligence within the local healthcare system himself.
We are paying $3.something billion, American dollars, for that entity. 20 rooms in Provo, 10 in Grand Chapel. I am saying $3.something billion American dollars on 125 million principal. For $3.something billion, we should be getting the best of healthcare.
Persons have complained about dangerously extended emergency wait times, blood bank woes, misdiagnosis, and just a culture which residents say consists of a lack of due medical care and attention. The people are calling on the World Health Organization to intervene.
It's that time of year again. Lobster season is coming back in full swing in the TCI, and Newswatch has the details on what guidelines are in place for the upcoming season. Take a look. In an official press release on their Facebook page, the TCIG announced to the general public, restaurants, and fishing interests should be aware that lobster season will officially kick off on Monday, August 1st, and go until March 31st, 2023. In the press release, the TCIG listed restrictions related to crawfish as per Section 15 of the Fisheries Protection Ordinance. The list is as follows. In relation to crawfish size restrictions, when whole, a length of 3.25 inches measured from the front of the groove between the horns directly above the eyes along the middle of the back to the rear edge of the back shell, or, when the tail has been separated, a tail weight of 5 ounces whether processed or not. Fishers are not to be in the possession of any egg-bearing crawfish. Fishers are not to remove eggs from egg-bearing crawfish. Fishers are not to take or be in possession of molten crawfish or crawfish in early stages of spawning, described as appearing tar-spotted. Fishers are to ensure that the crawfish are landed unharmed and whole after being taken and landed at processing plants or at home, unless processed at sea as per the terms of the processing license. Fishers, as well as fish processing plants, are advised to adhere to COVID-19 guidelines pertaining to social distancing. The FMRM encourages residents and visitors to familiarize themselves with the fishery regulations and to uphold them, and they also urge responsible citizens to contact them at 338-4171 to report any violations that may occur. Heads of Fortis TCI recently sat down for a special interview aimed at providing clarity to their customers on the recent spike in utilities, which they say is expected to last all summer. Newswatch has more.
Officials have taken an hour out of their schedules to ensure that you, their customers, understand the ins and outs of what makes a monthly power bill, which they say is driven by a fuel factor rate, supply and demand, and in this case, inflation. Chief Financial Officer of Fortis TCI, Aisha Laporte.
And of course, the fuel prices is directly impacting the fuel factor. So as the fuel prices globally trends upwards, downwards, you see the fuel factor behave in the same way. So just looking at the trend from 2020, as we just mentioned, we were in a lockdown. During that time, nothing was moving, no airplanes, no cruise ships, no trains. So it was pretty much at a standstill. So the demand was very much restricted while the supply was there. So we would have seen a very low cost of fuel during those times. And over recent months, we've seen where it started to increase in 2021. And then in 2022, at the point, I believe it was in April of 2022, we would have started to see some significant increases in the cost of fuel, and subsequently that would have been reflected in the fuel factor to the tune as much as about 23%.
And officials say based on predictions, these increases are expected to last for some time. In an effort to get persons to grasp the process in which fuel is imported to the TCI, Alvijas Desir, Director of Energy Production for Fortis TCI, breaks down the importation process.
And we do not import that fuel directly. We have a contracted supplier that is responsible for the procurement and delivery of fuel to each and every generating site. As Aisha mentioned, our fuel supplier sources their fuel from Houston. And that fuel, when it's procured in Houston, has to travel to the Bahamas via the bigger tankers, and then the reason there is at their ports they have the ability to receive those big tankers. Now, once that arrives in the Bahamas, that fuel is then offloaded from those tankers into their storage facilities and then transferred into a smaller barge.
He says the fuel is then transported to a smaller barge in order to be able to dock at the local South Dock port of entry. According to officials, each part of the process carries a number of fees, including insurance, storage, taxes, and wharfage fees. So what drives customer consumption?
The summer months, we normally tend to see the consumption increase. And that could be for two major reasons. And one is, first of all, the temperatures. The temperatures are certainly warmer during the summer months. And when we compared the temperatures to, let's say, June of 2022 compared to last year, June, we saw increases in the temperature month over month.
Officials say these changes garner an increased use of appliances, as well as it affects the way that appliances consume energy. They say it is important that persons pay attention to their at-home practices as it relates to energy consumption, as some small changes make for bigger differences. Meanwhile, residents, according to the interview's comment feed, still have lingering questions. One person asking about a decrease in fuel prices in the U.S. and why, contrarily, the TCI's fuel factor will continue to see an increase, while another speaks on the integration of solar panels and any reviews that could make utilities more economical for islanders.
We'll be right back with more Newswatch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
So many interesting stories have emerged this week, but here's another one that made this edition of The Real News. On Thursday, July 21st, 2022, the past alumni decided to kick off their reunion at Fish Fry. While there, Newswatch caught up with 9 of the former students for an interview. The past students were first asked what they were here to celebrate all together.
We're celebrating class of 1992 Clement Howell High School 30th year reunion.
Natasha Ewing then shared how it felt to be reunited with her former classmates.
This is a wonderful feeling. I haven't seen George in a long while. While Marvin and Monique lives here, I haven't seen them in like forever. So this is great to be here today together with like most of them. Just having a good time. It's good to be together.
When asked how it felt to be the first group of alumni to attend Clement Howell for all 5 forms, Tawana Ewing had this to say.
It's a wonderful feeling, and we were the first true Clement Howellers, I call it, where we started from first form straight to fifth form. So we are the champion batch, yes. So, you know, it's good to know that we are the first to do a reunion, so we are trailblazers.
Donovan Harvey informed Newswatch that Clement Howell was the school that started Education Week back in the day.
But also, Missouri was the first one to start Education Week.
That's true.
Okay, the debate that happens now with schools, that started at Clement Howell High.
Tawana stated the plans that the class has after their banquet at Beaches Resort on Saturday.
Yes, we honor God, so after partying on Saturday night and having fun, we're gonna go and go to church, Pastor Pedro Church, Jericho Baptist, yes, Sunday at 10 a.m.
To honor a fallen family member of one of their former classmates, Marvin Dean asked for a moment of silence.
For anything goes father, I just want to say that we have lost one of our classmates.
A few of them.
A few of our classmates, but
And teachers.
2 days ago, we have lost one of our classmates' brother that we are mourning at this moment. Devin Gardner, he's one of our classmates, and he lost his son, his brother, today. So I just want to say, have his deepest sympathy and condolences that his family is grieving, and we all have went through it before we go any further. So I just want to say, let's have a moment of silence for Devin, because he's one of us, because of his loss of his brother. So we have a moment of silence for him.
More details on this story will be offered in a subsequent newscast. Patrice Capron Walker shared with Newswatch her feelings concerning whether or not she missed her high school days.
Honestly, sometimes I do, but I really feel, I had a good time in school. Mind you, school was great, school was wonderful, but I really feel like the outer world is more better than in school. So we miss it for some things, but not for most things.
The former students spoke about which subjects were their favorite during school.
My favorite class was technical drawing.
Yeah, me too.
My favorite class was social studies.
The group shared their favorite part of their high school experience.
Graduation.
Graduating, of course.
Graduation. You know, when you want to get out, when you're out, you want to get back in. That's how it is.
Well, actually, for me, there was two. We had a dance group.
Yeah.
A Spanish dance group,
Yes.
La Bamba. And that was awesome.
I think for me, my favorite part of high school was that school felt like a home away from home.
The group stated that their connection is still strong 30 years after leaving high school.
We can't control the group chat.
From
These guys have it going on all night, and I'm like, why they want to go there?
Yes, from the time we connected to plan our reunion, we just clicked after 30 years.
Each other is just amazing. I love you guys.
The past students shared that this is the first reunion they've had over 3 decades and recommend that other classes should have reunions as well.
We've never connected through the years. Unfortunately, we weren't able to connect.
Life took place.
So this is our first reunion 30 years later. Yeah, so we're happy, we're thankful for that. It's good to stay connected. I'll encourage classes from years gone by and current or coming up classes to just stay connected.
The group then shared some final remarks.
I just want to thank God for allowing us to see this gathering, for us to get together, for bringing us this far. We've come a long way. 30 years is a long time. We've lost some along the way, and I thank God for all of us who are here and we're able to get together.
On Saturday, it's going to be very nostalgic because all of the songs that we danced and we relate to as teenagers gonna be flying in the air, and I can't just imagine us just getting it on, you know. And it's gonna be really nice where we connect and enjoy each other and participate in something that we did like 30 years ago. I can't believe I'm out of school for 30 years, and it's like, wow, time flies. So enjoy yourself, have fun, stay true to you, and keep connected to your friends and family. I love you guys.
I enjoy my classes. I enjoy the classmates. I love you all with all my heart. And I wish to see another 30 years or before that we come together again to celebrate this class reunion again. But if we don't, then we celebrate whoever is here, and we celebrate it 30 years, 10, 5, whatever, we celebrate it again.
Don't move just yet. Coming up next is your weather forecast after this break.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providence Charlie's, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your weather forecast. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, high 84, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For South Caicos, isolated showers, high 84, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos, isolated showers, high 85, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key, partly cloudy skies, high 84, low 79, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Providenciales, partly cloudy skies, high 84, low 79, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise, 6:21 a.m., sunset, 7:32 p.m. Now for your high and low tides. High tide, 8:20 a.m., 8:35 p.m., low tides, 2:23 a.m., 2:13 p.m. And for your hurricane outlook, for the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. And that's it for your weather forecast and hurricane outlook. That's the end of today's edition of Newswatch, but don't forget you can always catch us on our website at www.ptv8tci.com and every weekday right here at 6:30 p.m. I'm Khalees Williams. Stay informed. Thanks for watching.